Hello class, I'd like to welcome you to our last installment for public speaking, and we'll be discussing, or I'm supposed to be persuading you on something. Now today we're going to discuss turn signals and their importance. First off, turn signals are one of those things that are added to cars for years ago. I discussed that in the informative speech. And the thing is, people neglect to use them on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, in 2006, a survey performed by the Response Insurance Agency came up with 57% of American drivers admitted to not using their turn signals. 42% of those said because they didn't have the time, which is surprising to me because, you know, you're driving and your hand just reaches down here and goes click and you're turning right, click and you're turning left. So not having time, in my opinion, is just not exactly a wonderful excuse. And 23% were even more honest and said that it was because they were too lazy. Now in Dayton, Ohio, they did a brief survey of approximately 10,000 drivers, and they monitored the fact that they watched how many turn signals were being used either for lane changes or for actually turning left or right. And out of those drivers, 25.43% did not use their signals. 48.35% didn't use their signals even for a lane change. So with that data, lane changes is even more of a time frame when people don't use their turn signals. Now with a 25% neglect rate, now remember earlier we said that over 57% of Americans that were interviewed by the insurance company said that they don't use their turn signals and admitted to it. But with a 25% neglect rate, 750 billion instances, that's 750 billion instances of elevated crash risk every year. This equates roughly to 1 million crashes that could be prevented. Now, according to MSN, they say that neglected or improper turn signals cause more than 2 million car accidents a year. So you're looking at, by utilizing your turn signal, I'm going to turn left, I'm going to turn right, I'm going to move into the left lane, I'm going to move into the right lane, you reduce your risk so very much, and you could be one of those individuals helping prevent anywhere between 1 and 2 million car accidents a year. I don't know about you, but I kind of like to stay in one piece, and I like my truck well enough that I'd rather not get in an accident. Now, that's only one thing. Using the data, that's only one item that tells you that we should be using our turn signal. Another thing is, it's everybody knows this, it's the law. Technically, a cop could pull you over for not using your turn signal or even improper use of turn signal by improper lane change and give you a ticket. It's not overly expensive. In some states it's $25 to $50, so it's not like it's a big deal to many people. To me, $25 is a pretty big deal. So once again, not really want to get pulled over by a cop. However, most cops aren't even enforcing this because they have so much other things to enforce, like speeding or trying to catch so many other criminals that we have to watch out for. Now, the third thing to mention is the fact that we all know that it should be used. It's simple politeness. Hey bud, I'd like to turn left. Hey bud, can I get in the left-hand lane? It's really more along the lines of a politeness of saying, hey, I need to get over, thank you, or any of those number of things. We all complain about those idiot drivers that cut us off. Well, a turn signal would have been a little helpful. At least we'd have known they were moving over. We go to work every day, and many of us have issues with people not communicating to us. It's the same on the road, except on the road, you've got a vehicle that weighs way more than we do that could eliminate your very own life. Wouldn't you rather communicate to the guy next to you saying, hey, I'd like to turn left, or I need to get over there? It just seems like a smart idea to communicate, and that's why turn signals were invented, was so that you could tell people, hey, I need to get over there. In turn, though, we should pay attention to those individuals who are willing to communicate, and instead of, one of the reasons why I think people forget to use them is because, why use them? So many people see the turn signal, and what do? Vroom, cut you off so you can't get in there. They don't want you in their little space, their little buffer zone, or whatever it is they're thinking. It's a walk away from being polite, and that's the third key on utilizing your turn signal. It's to be polite. And if you can't be polite behind a car where you don't have to even meet the fella or gal, then why in the world even attempt to be polite? To sum up, each and every individual that drives on the road has the ability to help reduce car accidents, which in turn would reduce fatalities on the roads, simply by the flick of a wrist or the flick of a finger to get the turn signal on to tell people where you're going. It's that simple. I hope that I have convinced at least one of you to utilize your car turn signals a little more frequently, if not all the time. Thank you, and have a good day.